Hi everyone, my name is Danny. Today I'm going to be talking to you about sentiment analysis. So this is a technique that we use in our acquisition project or to classify tweets as positive or negative. So given text, is it good or is it bad? But human language is very complex, and getting a machine to understand human language is even more complex. So let's look at an example. You need a shot. Is that positive or negative? If I say you need a shot at the hospital, it's negative. If you need a shot at the bar, that's very positive, if you ask me. So context, organization, and other words in the text all contribute to a text sentiment. There's a lot of moving pieces here. So how do we get a machine to understand all these moving pieces? Well, there are two approaches to this, a lexicon-based approach and a machine learning-based approach. Today I'm going to be talking to you about both, how they work, and the pros and cons of each. So in a lexicon-based approach, we have a dictionary of words and their corresponding polarities. If you want to expand this dictionary, you can take a word, its polarity, and expand it to its synonyms, opposite polarity for its antonyms. You then apply this dictionary to a body of text where you look up the sentiment of each word, then you sum all those sentiments up, and you get the sentiment of the text. So if they're more positive words, then the text is said to be positive. So here's an example of how that works. This pizza is great. 2 neutral words and 2 positive words. So overall, we would say this is positive. So this is a great way to get the sentiment of a text. However, we are confined to the words that are in the dictionary. So if we're missing words, our prediction powers are not going to be so accurate. So let's take an example. There's 2 ways to say sick. You can say you don't feel well, you can say sick like slang for cool. So if I say this movie was sick and the dictionary didn't have the slang version, you could be thinking I'm saying this movie doesn't feel good, which doesn't make sense. So our predicting powers wouldn't be as accurate, so we are very reliant on the words that are in the dictionary. We have to make sure it's up to date. So whereas a lexicon-based approach considers words and phrases that are labeled as positive or negative, machine learning-based approach considers bodies of text that are labeled as positive or negative. So a sentiment analysis is inherently a classification problem where we can use supervised learning to go through a large data set, extract different features of that data, and then consider that for interpretation and prediction. So here, going back to our example of you need a shot, machine learning-based approach can go through the data, then look for similar features in other texts and say if that's negative or positive. So machine learning-based approach does give us more accurate prediction results. However, we do have to train our model on a large data set, and we're extremely reliant on accurate data labeling. So this becomes more of a problem with bigger texts. So like with a lexicon-based approach, we had like a single word. Like the word great, it's easy to say it's positive. Like if you have a 20-page document, it's a little bit more complicated to say if it's good or positive, positive or negative, especially considering all the different ways there are to interpret text. Having said that, the machine learning approach is still more accurate. So those are the 2 approaches we have to sentiment analysis. A lexicon-based approach focusing on word and phrases, machine learning-based approach focusing on word, phrases, and a whole host of other features. So because it considers more, machine learning approach is more accurate. Take, for example, this tweet from Trump saying, "Get well soon" to Biden after he hurt his ankle. So a lexicon-based approach will look at those words to say, that's all good. So this is a positive text. Machine learning approach can refer to other previous texts, or tweets, that Trump said about Biden attacking him. It could say this is probably sarcastic, this is negative. So machine learning approach, because it considers more, it gives more accurate results. However, in both of these cases, both of these approaches, they're very reliant on having a robust data set that is up to date with new words, new slang, new information, and most importantly, accurate labeling. So that concludes my talk. Thank you so much for listening and for your time, and have a great rest of your day.